Boom! Crypto with Dinny here, coming at you from the new phone holder suckers. The silicone sucker. Let me get out of here now because I was just in the pavilions buying me new phone holders. So we'll get out, we'll get on the road, and then I'll talk to you a little bit about Bitcoin and its the impact that it can have on Ireland's housing crisis, or pretty much the world, because it can demonetize property. And I'll explain what all that means and how it works in about a minute when I get out here onto the main road. So for the moment, give me a little comment, say hello, click the like button. What's the crack? Let me know if you're into property investing. If you monetize property, let me know in the comments. I'll try and find my parking ticket. Woo, some heat today, lads. It is a savage day. I was slotting him in there. Oh, maybe it's the wrong way around. Yeah, Dinny, arrows up. I was doing a bit of work in the garden. Who's that? What's that bracket? It's a silicone sucker, Dave. I got two of them because both my phone holders are broken. So I have to go up to Phil and get another one. So I was doing a nice bit of manual work today. It's good fun doing manual work. I had the saw out and I was doing a bit of sawing in the garden, getting rid of a load of weeds. I built a fence over the last 2 days with my father-in-law. Can't bait a bit of manual work, lads, on the sledge, baiting down fucking, I don't know what they were, 6" by 4" posts, baiting them down. Some workout, abs, obliques, feeling good. Enjoyed a bit of manual work. But we'll just get out here onto the dual carriageway and then I'll be able to talk to you about how Bitcoin is demonetizing property and how it solves our housing crisis. And if the housing crisis is affecting you in any way, if you're trying to get on the property ladder and you're realizing how difficult it is and how it's the difficulties are likely to continue, and I really feel for anyone who's trying to get on the property ladder right now, because what are house prices going up 10% a year, 20% a year? It's insane. Like, wages aren't going up 10% a year, 20% a year. How do people survive? Mad stuff. Throw a comment in anyway, let me know who's on, what the crack is. Remember your daily exercise, okay? Like I said, I was swinging the sleigh. I was I was swinging the sigh, and I was pounding the sled. And so I've got my daily exercise, but your daily exercise is to stretch out the finger, warm it up, and give it a nice little press there onto the like button, and even better, throw a comment in. But I've had 2 weeks off with Crypto with Dinny. Well, not 2 weeks off, but I haven't ran workshops for 2 weeks, and I have one this weekend, so I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to catching up with everybody and teaching them how to navigate this stuff right, because when people come into crypto and they're new, it's always now. I need to buy now, Dinny, if you could answer my email, Dinny, quickly. These people just lose money. I teach them how to calm it down. Settle. Because this quick action only gets you in trouble. Anyway, on to the subject at heart. There's a long comment there. I can't really read it at the minute when I'm driving. I'll have a look when I get stopped. But let me get into this lane actually as well, because I have to call into the gym. So how Bitcoin solves the housing crisis? Well, what is the housing crisis? The crisis is that one, it's too expensive to buy a house, okay? Because the money supply is inflating so much. It just means the cost of everything that's fixed is going up so fast. And people's wages aren't going up as fast, so therefore property is getting more and more unaffordable for a lot of people. So that's one of the problems. The second problem is that there's not enough. So how do you solve the first problem? Well, we won't go through that today. Buy Bitcoin and wait. If you can wait 5 or 10 years, that'll solve that problem for you, okay? Take your mortgage out, put it in Bitcoin, and then you can buy any house you want in 5 years' time and clear your mortgage. But and again, not financial advice, that's just Dinny's opinion on what's highly likely to happen. But the second problem is that there's not enough property available for buyers. So there's buyers in the market, but there's not enough houses available for those buyers. And then, why isn't there enough houses available? Well, it goes down to the system, in that because the money supply has, like, this all goes down to the monetary policy. The whole world's working. It'll work better, lads, if you just figure this out, okay? But because of the monetary policy, people can't save in money. So wealthy people who have money, they have to buy a property, okay? You don't buy property because you love housing people and you love going collecting rent and you love cutting hedges and you love getting phone calls that there's a feckin' sink leaking or a pipe leaking or there's mould in the bathroom. That's not why rich people buy property. They buy property because it's a way to protect your wealth and it's a way to create more wealth, okay? So you use property, you use a house, we monetize property, okay? And you use it as a way to create more wealth and a store of value. So a house can sit there, it's a fixed asset, and as the money supply keeps increasing, the value of the property always goes up, okay? Especially if it's in a desirable location, a scarce desirable location. You know, if it's just a run-of-the-mill property, well then it's going to be a bit more liable to the swings of the property market. But in general, property goes up if you just zoom out over a longer time frame. Obviously there can be crashes, there can be 5-year bear cycles in property, but property just goes up. Why is that? Because it's a fixed asset in a fixed location and it's been measured against assets that are created, like euros, dollars, whatever your fiat is, but that's what's chasing the fixed asset, the hard asset. And so people with money, they go and buy property because it's a way to protect the money that you've gone and earned, or to get more money, okay? You take out debt against the properties and you can leverage debt, you can use money to make money, and everyone knows that. But how Bitcoin solves this problem is what if Bitcoin demonetized housing, okay? What if Bitcoin demonetized property? Because if I'm an investor, and I am an investor for the last 20 years, okay, I'll invest into the assets that are the least work for the highest return. They're the assets that excite me. They're the assets that I want to learn most about. I don't want to learn about stuff that takes loads of work, because the whole point in investing is to get your money to work for you, and you have to crack and make fences and swing size, you know, and do interesting stuff that you enjoy. So if I'm an investor and I have capital, let's say I have 100 grand, a million, 10 grand, 1,000, the number doesn't really matter, but let's say I have 100 grand. No, let's say I have a million, okay? I have a million and I'm like, what do I buy with this capital? How do I get it working for me? How do I protect it? Because I know if it sits in the bank, it's wrecked. Over 5 years, it's only got the purchasing power of 500,000. Okay, if I have my million, whatever the maths is. So I'm like, well, what do I do with my million? Well, I can go into property and all the headache and heartache that goes with that. But the problem with property is it's fixed. It's in a fixed location. Okay, and I believe that what Bitcoin is doing is it's dematerializing property investment, because Bitcoin is property. Okay, and remember, it's a permissionless system, so everyone is welcome and no one is forced. But those that do decide to come into Bitcoin's ecosystem, okay, can own property. But you're not owning physical property, you're owning digital property, okay? But if you can try and conceptualize it, if that's even a word, I don't know, but if you can think of it in your head as, if I own Bitcoin, it's like owning, I'm here at my gym, it's like owning this physical building as an investment, okay? However, if you own property, okay, and a lot of property investors in Ireland are probably going to get hit with this now, because there's a housing crisis, because all the property is getting bought up by those with money, and then the government have a problem with those that want to buy property can't afford it because it's all been bought up by people who just want to rent it out, okay? Or they'll buy it, like, you know, there's housing estates being built and a big investor will come in and they'll buy half the housing estate, you know, and I've heard about this, they'll buy like 60 houses, okay, off the plans, and pretty much they sit on them, and they'll be able to sell those houses for 25% more, 30% more, literally by the time the houses are built, maybe 50% more. So they put this massive markup on them, and it's just punishing the average person that they can't afford the property, okay? But then as property investors, they're going to be punished now. The government is going to put disincentives on that to try and stop that happening. So as property investors, you know, a government can come down and can put so much tax on it and just hurt the investor, okay? And I'm coming across this from both the side of the investor and the side of someone who's trying to get on the property ladder. And again, remember, these videos are just Dinny's ramblings, okay? So they're not like sat down with loads of notes. So don't quote me on every single word, but it's what's happening. So as a property investor, you have a fixed asset in a fixed location, okay? Let's say I buy a house in Swords as an investment property. Well, it's fixed, it's in Swords, and if Fingal County Council go and whack up a load of property rates, okay, and water charges, and then the government at national level bring on all this other disincentives to punish me because they don't want people like me taking these assets off the open market, and they want to leave the housing market free for people who are trying to get on the property ladder. Because as you can see, homelessness is only on the up. You haven't even seen it, and I've been saying this since the very start of the pandemic. You just watch and wait and see where we're going, guys. It's going to be like, things are going to get a lot worse, and whether they get better, I don't know. But they're going to get a hell of a lot worse, with a hell of a lot more poverty and crime and civil unrest, and that's an absolute given. And what you're seeing at the minute, it's not even the tip of the iceberg. Give it 3 years, unfortunately. And I'd love to be wrong, and I hope I am, but I'm never wrong. So back to property. You've bought your Bitcoin, okay, or you've bought your house in a fixed location, and now your local government, your local council, or your national government can punish you, and there's nothing you can do because it's fixed in that fixed location. If you buy digital property, okay, if you think of Bitcoin as digital property, and you're not getting treated well in Ireland because the Irish government are like, oh no, we're going to tax unrealised gains on Bitcoin. Well, the great thing is, it's dematerialised property, and I can move it anywhere in the world. Right now, my Bitcoin is welcome in El Salvador, and I was Googling it, and that was such a great move by them. I wish the Irish government would catch on to this, because it's inevitable that they'll all move, but the first movers are the ones that are going to have the huge wealth influx into their country. The Bitcoiners will be the most wealthy people in the world. It's happening. It's already happened to a lot of them. Okay, so it's a massive wealth transfer is happening right before our eyes, and because people only look at it at the micro level and not the macro level, they don't see it happening. But it's happening right before your eyes, and it's like, it's as clear as day. But yeah, if I choose to invest in digital property, okay, I have the ability to move that anywhere in the world, and it opens up competition. That if my government aren't friendly towards this asset class, well, I can move it. Me and all my wealth get to move out of the country, and where do we go? We go to where we're best treated. You can't do that with physical property. You're locked in a physical location, okay? You can't get your house and lift it up and take it anywhere. But with crypto and with Bitcoin, you can do that, okay? So you have digital property, scarce digital property. Remember, only 21 million Bitcoins, okay? You don't need to own one. You can buy 1 million Satoshis for a couple of £100, all right? But you can move it, okay, because it's massless. Physical property, a house, it's mass, okay? It operates under whatever it's called, Newtonian physics, but massless, okay? It can move at speed of light anywhere in the world. So you go where you're best treated. And as I've been saying, I've been looking at El Salvador, and like, I'd have no problem moving there, living there. I could live there, there'd be no problem. They've got great surf, they've got great weather, they've got great food, and they're welcoming to people who own digital property, okay? Everything else can be taken from you. Every single thing you own can and will be taken from you over the next 10 years, because we know that's going to happen. That is the agenda, that is the incentive, is that it's the great reset. But if you actually want to own stuff yourself, and you want to be sovereign, and you like having personal responsibility instead of government, take care of me more and more and more, bigger government, less freedom, because that's the price you pay. But if you're someone who likes being sovereign and likes having self-responsibility and likes to own stuff, which is a right, humans have the right to property rights, and property rights and privacy are two things that are important to me, and in my view of the world, every human should have access to both those things, all right? And that means that you then have personal responsibility to better your life and create a better life for yourself. But digital property is the one thing that can't be taken away from you. All physical property that you own can be taken away from you, and as the world starts to realize this, it's inevitable. You're so early. Keep watching, zoom out, day to day, year to year. Guys, give this thing a decade, give it 2 decades. As I say, buy Bitcoin from your kids, okay? Buy Bitcoin for your kids, and they'll be the wealthiest individuals in Ireland, if they choose to stay in Ireland. Then they won't have to, because they can get a private plane anywhere else they want in the world, and they can go and buy an island. in a decade or two. Just keep watching. This is such an inevitability. I know I see things different than other people, but I think everyone will eventually see what I believe is very plain to see. Bitcoin will demonetize property, that people will choose to hold Bitcoin as an asset instead of buying a feckin' apartment block and all the heartache that comes with it. Okay, you've got scarce digital property, dematerialized physical property, and it has all the attributes. Okay, you can earn your yield off it, you can borrow against it, you can finance against it. Okay, you can loan it, you know, so you get all the yield generating opportunities from it without all the drawbacks and the hassle. So yeah, keep watching. Hope you got some value out of that video. Hit the like button if you did. I'll read the comments now in a second, but I have to get out of this van because I am baking. Hope you're having a great day, and if you enjoy the videos, share them please, because the more people that learn about this, the more people that are going to protect themselves and give their self and their families opportunity to have to I suppose be more sovereign, to look after yourself more, to have a higher standard of living, because the standard of living now looks like it's going to go in the decline. We reached an amazing standard of living, and then we had whatever happened last year. You can't say it because freedoms are shut down so much that if you mention it, the video gets shadow banned. So probably you shouldn't. That word will probably do a shadow ban. So it's up to you guys. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and share this content with those you love, and encourage them to get educated. Get educated about money. I put up on, if you don't follow me on Instagram, put some stories up, but put on Instagram that professional athletes, you know, masters of their craft, they understand the rules of their game inside and out. You know, and like, take for instance soccer players, they understand the rules inside and out, and the best ones understand the rules, you know, with such clarity that they can almost bend the rules. They play to the rules so tight to get them to their advantage. And then there's normal people who live on social media and just want to dream life with all the riches and the easy way, but they don't understand how money works. It's like, if you don't understand the rules of the game, you'll never get ahead. You'll never even, you'll just about keep your head above water, and that's how most people are. And they get fixated on earning more money, and that doesn't solve the problem, because it just doesn't. It compounds the problems. But anyway, I'm going to jump off. Thanks for all the comments. Don't forget to hit the like button, and I'll see you guys on my workshops this weekend with Bitcoin Basics. There's some tickets in that. The Bitcoin Bootcamp is sold out, but there are tickets for next week if anyone's interested in getting on board. Remember, the most important thing for me anyway, to help me get from a mobile home to, you know, a life that I need or want for nothing, was education, financial education, and not only listening to people who had done what I wanted to do, and not people who are at the same level as me, whatever that was, because then I would get what they had, and I didn't want that. I wanted more. Anyway, Derek, I am a gas man. Thanks very much. But I don't try to hide it anyway. I just have to crack. Okay, lads, I'm going to jump off. Thanks for being here. Give a little camera wipe. And we'll talk to you all soon. Dinny out.